The light always wins over darkness. Porque es muy fuerte.
Mi gente latino.
Guild recognizes the outstanding achievement of Sean Baker for ANORA.
Stay jealous, babe. Stay jealous, honey. Jealousy is a disease. Remember that, Diamond? I'm just gonna go chill in my mansion or whatever. You know, no big deal.
Hi guys. Today we're going to be talking about the BAFTAs. They're out next week, but it's time to predict. Before I even talk about, the BAFTAs, I also want to give a little quick breakdown of the Critics' Choice Awards that just happened last night as I'm recording this video. And also, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who's been watching my Sundance recap videos for the past week. I reviewed a couple movies from there, and some of them were really pretty good and might actually hit the Oscar circuit next year. So I highly recommend you check out those videos, and also check out the video of Fantasy Film Balls podcast on Emilia Perez. I was on it, and some other friends, and it would be really nice to, check that podcast out so you can kind of, feel the vibe of what other people are thinking about in terms of Emilia Perez, the movie. But yeah, you know what? Let's get into the BAFTAs before this whole mess starts raining into my brain. Yeah, I should have just waited until the DJs and PGAs happened. So this is just going to be a little editing warning before I get the main video out. I'm actually just going to predict ANORA for Best Picture and Best Director at the BAFTAs because of the PGA and DGA wins that happened last night. My dumbass just predicted Brady Corbett and The Brutalist to win Best Picture at the BAFTAs, but you know what? Fuck it. We got to go straight to the plot and predict ANORA for Best Picture and Director at the BAFTAs. So yeah, that's my quick little change editing thing, whatever. I wouldn't never expected ANORA to get PGA DJ because of how low the season was with the film, but it turns out it's actually going to happen. I'm glad because I was still holding out on ANORA. As you can tell, I've been following this movie for a couple months, and I think that Palme d'Or win was just the seal of the deal. You just had to kind of wait a bit. But the ANORA Battalion is finally here, and we are going to go march straight to the Oscars. So yeah, let's continue on with the BAFTA prediction video starting now. Next up, I have Best Leading Actress, starting with Demi Moore for The Substance. Number 2, I have Mikey Madison for ANORA. Number 3, Marianne Jean-Baptiste for Hard Truths. Number 4, Wicked, Cynthia Erivo. Number 5, Saoirse Ronan for The Outrun. And then number 6, I have Carla Sofia Garcon for Emilia Perez. Don't need to talk about the 6th slot. You already know what's happening. But let's talk about Demi Moore because I think she has a solid chance to sweep this entire season. With her winning the Critics' Choice Award last night, I think right now she has a good position of her being in the front line for that top prize. Although I do think Mikey Madison has another chance to take it here, either at here or probably at SAG, but I think they're going to lean more towards Demi Moore, maybe because of just how well she's doing so good at other places, especially, the Golden Globe win and the Critics' Choice win. The visibility helps a lot. But I wouldn't be surprised if Mikey Madison takes it here because there needs to be some spicing up. There needs to be a race happening. And you can say the same with Marianne Jean-Baptiste for Hard Truths, who is British and has won a lot of regional Critics' Choice Awards across the US and also in other places in Europe. If Mikey Madison and Demi Moore didn't exist this season, I think Marianne Jean-Baptiste probably would have been the one to challenge Cynthia Erivo, especially since Wicked is actually getting a little bit stronger, especially since the last night with the Best Director win for Jean M. Chu. But I think Marianne Jean-Baptiste has a solid chance to win here because she's British, she's part of the European bloc, and I think Hard Truths, despite it being kind of a flop financially, I think the visibility is still there in Europe, and I wouldn't be surprised if she takes it here. And then Saoirse Ronan and Carla Sofia Garcon are just happy to be here. Saoirse Ronan, she has a chance next time. Carla Sofia Garcon, never. It's over. It's so fucking over for her. She just like hooked herself with just the entire controversies behind her Twitter tweets and just like her whole like demeanor of just trying to apologize to everyone about like the stuff she's done for the past couple of weeks and years online. So her chances are just done and dead, and it's sad, but yeah, that's just like the state of the race right now. But that's my best leading actress predictions for the BAFTAs. So, best leading actor. Number 1, I have Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. Number 2, I have Conclave, the movie, Ralph Fiennes. Number 3, I have Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown. Number 4, I have Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. Number 5, I have Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. And number 6, I have Hugh Grant for Heretic. Hugh Grant, you don't need to talk about. He's been doing pretty well this season just with like nominations, but he's just happy to be here. Like, he's just really happy to be here, man. Same with Sebastian Stan. Like, in a better season, he probably would have won, but Trump won the election, so it's not going to happen. Number 4, I have Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing. This is another thing about Sing Sing. It did pretty well here at the BAFTAs, but it's been flailing everywhere else, and it would have been nice to see Coleman Domingo win here, but it's not going to happen. The reason why I have Timothy Chalamet at number 3 is because he's not British. He's not European. The last 2 nominees have better chance here than Timothy Chalamet, in my opinion. Ralph Fiennes, European guy, a legend. He's pretty damn great in Conclave. I can see him win here, but I still have to go with Adrian Brody for The Brutalist because he's running and gunning for the sweep. I have no negative connotations or just any analysis with that. It's just going to happen now. And I don't see anybody challenging him here at the BAFTAs, maybe at SAG with Timothy Chalamet, but yeah, that's just like my top 6 best leading actor predictions for the BAFTAs. And then we get to best supporting actress at the BAFTAs, and things get a little bit more stranger because number 1, I have Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez. Number 2, I have Ariana Grande for Wicked. Number 3, I have Felicity Jones for The Brutalist. Number 4, I have Isabella Rossellini for Conclave. Number 5, I have Jamie Lee Curtis for The Last Showgirl. And then number 6, I have Selena Gomez for Emilia Perez. So once again, the Emilia Perez hive is slowly dying because of the controversies. But one thing that won't die is Zoe Saldana taking this award. I don't see Ariana Grande taking this award because she has a second chance with the next film. And she just is one of those people that just has arrived into the entertainment movie world. So she has lots of chances to win next time around. So that's why Zoe Saldana is at number 1. And I think that's the only thing that is pretty much locked up and sealed for Emilia Perez. Although I do think it could change here. But Felicity Jones at number 3 for The Brutalist, I have her here because even though the movie, she appears in the second half of the movie, and for those who've seen the movie, she has a big presence in the second half. The only negative thing that I can think of is the voters not vibing with the second half or not even finishing the screener for the movie. So that's why I have her at number 3, and she does still have the most buzz out of The Brutalist compared to Adrian Brody and everybody else in the movie. But it would be kind of nice and cool to see Isabella Rossellini win here, even though her role is pretty minuscule. She only appears in the movie for like 10 minutes, and she only has like 5 minutes of speaking dialogue. But even then, her performance in this movie is just pretty damn good, and she lays out an entire presence well past her prime when she leaves the movie. But yeah, I can kind of see that, and I can kind of see Jamie Lee Curtis, but she didn't get nominated for the Oscar, so it's not going to happen, and Selena Gomez is just happy to be here, really happy to be here. But yeah, that's like my best supporting actress predictions for the BAFTAs. So next up, I have best supporting actor, starting with Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. Number 2, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist. Number 3, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown. Number 4, Yura Borisov for ANORA. Number 5, Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. And number 6, Clarence Macklin for Sing Sing. Don't need to say too much about this. Kieran Culkin sweep. Raw. Next question. Next up is best original screenplay. and I have ANORA at number 1, The Substance at number 2, The Brutalist at number 3, A Real Pain at number 4, and Kneecap at number 5. I'm stuck between ANORA and The Substance because The Substance actually won the Best Original Screenplay award at the Critics' Choice last night, and that was a really wild surprise. I didn't expect that. I kind of expected A Real Pain to take it, but it seems like Coraline Farja has a chance to take this award here at the BAFTAs, but I'm still gunning out for Sean Baker. There has to be at least one big Nora win here, and I think Sean Baker, him winning this screenplay award it makes sense in my mind. But again, Coraline Farja won the Best Original Screenplay Award at the Critics' Choice and also at Cannes, which is a European film festival. So you got to kind of take that into account a little bit. And then just the rest are just happy to be here. Although I do think Brady Corbett has a little small chance to win. Jesse Eisenberg, I don't know. And then Kneecap, it's just happy to be here. But I would not be shocked if Kneecap takes it because they want to award, something European at the BAFTAs sometimes, not most of the time, but sometimes. And then we get to Best Adapted Screenplay, starting with Conclave at number 1, Sing Sing at number 2, Nickel Boys at number 3, A Complete Unknown at number 4, and then Emilia Perez at number 5. Conclave is doing pretty damn well with just the awards in terms of Best Adapted Screenplay. It won at the Critics' Choice Awards last night, and it wasn't a surprise. It seems like the path for the Adapted Screenplay Award for Conclave it's just going to happen. You just have to be prepared for it. Although I do think Sing Sing has a solid chance to win here also as well, because they might have a bone to throw at the BAFTAs. They want to award something that's not, bubbling up in terms of just the rest of the season. And Sing Sing is kind of like that one movie that is the little train that could. Same with Nickel Boys. That's just my preference for number 3. Although I could just kind of switch it out for A Complete Unknown, which is my number 4, because it did pretty good here at the BAFTAs in terms of nominations. But number 5, Emilia Perez. The controversies behind just the French to Spanish translation of the dialogue in this movie are going to destroy the predictability and the possibility of this winning here. So I don't have this anywhere near the top spot. So that's why I have Conclave at number 1 instead. And then we get to Best Casting, starting with Conclave, which won the Ensemble Award at the Critics' Choice last night. So that's why I have it at number 1. But do be prepared for Nora at number 2, or even Kneecap at number 3, or even A Complete Unknown at number 4, or maybe The Apprentice at number 5. Nora, despite it having, not too much of a big ensemble cast, the sheer, brilliance of just casting Russian Armenian people and just normal people, and then Mikey Madison brings this formula together for a really great casting nomination and maybe a win. And you can kind of say the same thing with Kneecap, even though these characters are playing themselves because they're actually rappers. And then A Complete Unknown, just for, finding Timothée Chalamet and actually making him sing all the songs live. And then other characters and actors who just show up in the movie who play, these big real life musicians. And you can kind of say the same thing with The Apprentice, with Sebastian Stan playing Donald Trump, and then Jeremy Strong playing Roy Cohen, and just other characters who are in this Trump world. But I'm still going for Conclave at number 1 because of the Critics' Choice win. It could translate to the BAFTAs. And then we get to the British film, the Best British Film, starting with Conclave, Hard Shoes, Blitz, Kneecap, Bird, Lee, The Outrun, Gladiator 2, Love Lives Bleeding, and Wallace and Gromit. So, yeah, Conclave and Hard Truths, I think, are going to be, interchangeable for me. I think the BAFTAs, they want to, at least award something that's kind of an underdog, I think, in my opinion. But Conclave is the pedestrian choice, but I do think Hard Truths has a solid chance to win here. And same with Blitz, even though that movie itself has kind of just completely fallen apart and has become the movie of this had Oscar buzz. But you know what? It's a Steve McQueen movie, and Steve McQueen's a legend, so you got to take that into account. And Kneecap, it's an Irish film. They want to like award at least something that's political, sometimes, maybe. Bird is really nice because it's another movie where it has real people playing real themselves. And you also have Barry Keoghan. Lee, The Outrun, Gladiator 2, Love Lies Bleeding, and Wallace and Gromit, they're all happy to be here. And Wallace and Gromit is just, it's a really funny nomination. I don't know how this happened, but it is a British movie, so they have to respect the claymation. And then next up, I have Best British Debut, starting with Kneecap at number 1, Monkey Man at number 2, Senatosh at number 3, Sister Midnight at number 4, and Horde at number 5. Kneecap. Nothing else to say about this. Although I do think Dev Patel for Monkey Man would be so fucking nice because nobody has seen that movie, and I thought that movie was just fucking fantastic, bro. But I think Kneecap has a good chance to win here because it's very political, it's brash, bold, and it's just a lot of fun. And if you haven't seen Kneecap, I highly recommend it. And then next up, I have Best Non-English Language Film, starting with I'm Still Here at number 1, Kneecap at number 2, All We Imagine as Light at number 3, The Seed of a Sacred Fig at number 4, and Emilia Perez at number 5. I think this is where the I'm Still Here sweep starts, and it's going to start here with the BAFTAs. Once again, I said that the voting period was much different from here compared to the Critics' Choice because of the Emilia Perez controversy landing on after the Critics' Choice window finished. So I think the controversy is going to sail over to the great land of Britain, and I think I'm Still Here has a really good chance of winning here. That's my sense of vibes I'm getting, and it's surging pretty well in terms of this awards race season. People are going out to check it out, and it's getting good reviews from a lot of American voters and American audiences and just people from around the world. So that's why I have it at number 1. But do be warned, I think Kneecap can actually take it here because it is an Irish film, and the Brits always like to, hang out with the Irish people sometimes. They want to like give it to the Irish people, and this movie was just like a crowd pleaser. And if you haven't seen Kneecap, I highly recommend it. I also do think All We Imagine as Light has a really solid chance to win here as well, because even though Capaldi got nominated for Best Director at the Golden Globes, I think that could translate back to here at the BAFTAs with just it being a really nice and attainable film for a lot of European voters, British voters. And then number 4, The Seed of a Sacred Fig. It's just happy to be here. In another universe, it probably would have swept, but the choices here are much kind of like better aside from Emilia Perez. But yeah, that's my top 5 for Best Non-English Language Film. And then Best Documentary, I don't need to go too much into this. I have No Other Land at number 1, Daughters at number 2, Black Box Diaries at number 3, Will and Harper at number 4, and Superman, the Christopher Reeve story at number 5. No Other Land is doing pretty damn well with just winning Best Documentary awards at these award bodies, so it's going to continue on here. Despite not having a distributor, doesn't fucking matter. This movie is just, it's one of the best documentaries I've seen in the last few years, and if you haven't checked it out, check out your showtimes at your local theaters, because this one, I don't think you should miss it. It's a very important documentary. Same with like Daughters, which is on Netflix. And the other 3, I really like those documentaries also as well, but nothing can top No Other Land or even Daughters. So that's my top 5 for Best Documentary. And finally, I'm going to do Best Animated Film, starting with The Wild Robot at number 1, Flow at number 2, Wallace and Gromit at number 3, and Inside Out at number 4. The reason why I have The Wild Robot here is because I think the race can kind of change back to The Wild Robot despite Flow winning at the Golden Globes. The Wild Robot won the Critics' Choice Award here, over there, not here, but it could actually happen here. Although I do think Flow has a solid chance of winning at the BAFTAs because of its European voting block, but you know what? I'm just going to wing it here and go for The Wild Robot at number 1, and maybe at the Oscars it could go to Flow. And then the rest of the 2 are just pretty non-explainable. It would be nice for Wallace and Gromit to win here because it's a British film, and it's been a while since I've seen Wallace and Gromit do adventures and things, and yeah, it would be nice. But yeah, it's like my best animated film. As for the rest of the categories, I'm just going to let you guys look at my awards expert profile. I recommend following me over there. And that's basically my BAFTA predictions. I hope you guys enjoy this really chaotic video dealing with the BAFTAs, and I will be back for the SAGs and the reactions to the BAFTAs and more movie reviews. So stick around. I will see you guys later. Peace out.